right, I just got to share my screen. Okay, so that's a report from another class. We already know we've got the introduction, the findings, the conclusion, the recommendation section. I already outlined that. So I'm going to ask you guys, how are we to begin the introduction? What phrase do we begin with here? Or what between several phrases we could choose? What is one of them? Yes. You're almost there. You got it halfway there. Does anyone know what we can start with? The purpose. Hold on. It's okay. I'm sure you guys are all a little bit rusty here. The purpose of this report, now we go with what Irina said, is to shed some light on the market situation Peloton is currently facing. And then I would give one sentence of specificity here. So being a little specific. So specifically, what are the main problems that Peloton is facing here? I can think of two. Anything else? Yeah. Definitely. So the two major things. What do you mean by different joint ventures? See, wait, hold on, Johannes. If you said that on the test, I wouldn't know what you meant. So it's a good idea to what do you mean by different joint ventures?
Corporations with specific brands like Apple.
Okay, so what is the problem there? Or the opportunity there? What are you trying to tell me?
They should focus on this specific brand.
Okay, so let's break it down like this. Do any of you guys know what shitstorm would be in like better English? Because it is a word. I'm sorry? It's also fail is more like internet lingo, but it's better than saying shitstorm. Shitstorm is an English word, but we only use this in like informal settings. We actually have a word, and that would be specifically the backlash. Backlash is a word for shitstorm. Okay, this is the formal word for shitstorm. So backlash concerning an injured child, comma, dwindling subscribers. Sorry. Concerning, okay. Wow, concerning a dead child. Dead sounds for some reason too harsh for me. But I wouldn't say a child that passed away. Let's just leave it as dead. I'm not going to mark you down for this. Dwindling subscribers and customers. And a lack of, what could we say instead of strong? Strong cooperation or strong joint ventures. Good choice. Good choice. We could say lack of significant. I wanted to use this word. It's kind of a new word that I'm introducing here, but I'm sure you've heard it before. Viable. We ever heard of viable before? Viable means strong, can live, can survive. Viable joint ventures and cooperations. Now, British English purists will tell you cooperations is not a word that you can write an S at the end of. It's uncountable, but I'm okay with it. Ventures and cooperations. Okay. What is the next part of my report? What do I write here? Okay, findings. Instead of saying last but not least, which is much more, I'm glad you guys are here saying these things. Last but not least is more of presentation language. I would say this. And lastly, we'll make recommendations for the future of Peloton. Do we have any names here? How the information here was given? Do we have a particular name like in the Coffee Connection report? Is there a name like PSL in here? Okay, so this information was obtained by, or say, during an investigation by an external consultant. Now, listen, you don't have to write this last sentence. You don't have to. If they don't give you anyone, you don't have to write anything. I'm only telling you this because it sounds really nice. This last sentence has good vocabulary in it. It'll buy you some words if you need some extra words. If you use words like obtained, external, consultant, this goes in your favor. Okay, that's the only reason I'm writing it here. You can write it a different way if you have something better in your mind. I'm just trying to help the people who feel a little more uncomfortable in their writing. If you utilize this last sentence, it automatically sounds better. And it adds about 10 words here. Okay, so how do I start the findings section? We're going to do a regular section and then we'll do a SWOT analysis section. So in case you want to see both. Yeah? Yes. Don't say main. Main, what's better than main? Chief, primary, or key? We identified the following. Now we jump into our bullet points section. Some of you guys, I think maybe one person in this room, two people in this room, not sure, but some people who will watch this recording wrote like long paragraphs in the findings section and ran into some trouble. I really recommend, especially when you're in the test and you're under time pressure, write the sentence, write some bullet points. All right? Don't get into long sentences, long paragraphs. Yes. You're absolutely right. Now, I wouldn't take points off if you did this, but you're more grammatically and cohesively correct what you've just said, because we've identified several issues in the introduction. So good job there. All right, guys, give me some findings.
What are possible?
Can you give me a more detailed, what does this mean for Peloton, or what is this in the context of Peloton? I don't quite get it. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Peloton, what? A higher membership? Why don't I'll give you a moment to think about it, rephrase it, and you can come at me with it again. Does anyone else have a finding here? Anita. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Due to the death of the child, Peloton is facing with negative media attention.
Okay. First of all, when you face something, no with after it. So due to the death of a child while improperly using a Peloton machine. One second. The company is facing intense media backlash. Yes.
Peloton stock decreased about 15% due to an incident included the death of the child, which reduced the
So let's say this Peloton stock has decreased by 10%, resulting from the aforementioned death. Aforementioned. I think you say in German, oben genannt, right? That's a good piece of vocabulary, and I have mentioned it in this class before. Aforementioned or aforementioned, some people say. Good piece of vocabulary there. Peloton stock has decreased by 10%. What kind of decrease is 10%? Is it a dramatic decrease? Is it a slight decrease? Is it a moderate one? What do you guys think? I don't know if 10% would be a plummet. What do you guys think? I would say it's between slightly or moderately. It's up to your interpretation. Decreased. The only reason I'm saying this is, let's say decrease moderately. Okay. just makes your vocabulary sound a little bit better. Remember, the adverb comes after the verb. After decrease or increase, then you have the ly word. Okay, Peloton stock has decreased moderately by 10%. Already sounds better than just saying 10%, resulting from the aforementioned death. Perfect. What other problems do we have? Or what other findings do we have? I know some of you guys are writing this. That's okay. I do think I always say von Hand zum Verstand, but I know it's corny. I know it's like a corny teacher thing, but it always works for me. But I'm gonna post this online and I'm gonna post the video. So focus more on getting those findings out right now. Arena again.
What some machines are already actually examples like this.
Mhm. Is there any negative or positive aspect to this expanding? Where did you find this? Where did you find this piece of information in the text? Okay, go back to source one and maybe give me some context around it. We're still being a little too vague other than the death of this child. There's more going on. There are more issues. What did Corona do? What did the pandemic do? I'm looking for this information. It's okay. We can still talk about what Arena just said because this could be a recommendation later. And this is what Johannes said. He did say it in the introduction. Where are the cooperations? Where are the joint ventures? So it is a good finding. But if you just say Peloton machines are available worldwide, what does this really mean to the reader, right? What is some context? Well, let's go back and look at it together. In foreign countries, right? Is that what you're saying? Good, good. Even if that's your interpretation, that's fine. That's more evidence. So making competition. Okay, last week, what adjective do I use with competition? Not strong. 2 weeks ago, not last week, 2 weeks ago, we had this pub quiz. And one of the things was strong competition. And I said, please don't say strong competition. There are two adjectives. One begins with an F and one begins with an S. Anyone remember? It's okay. I know you're working on a million other tests. I didn't expect you to remember it. Making competition fierce or stiff. You can choose whichever one you like. Please don't say strong. Competition fierce in foreign markets. So good point from Daria, building on Arena's point. Good teamwork there. What has the pandemic done? Anita? Gamified and guided work home workouts have become increasingly popular, you said? Popular? And what does this make? Making competition stiff in domestic markets as well. Domestic is the opposite of foreign. Inland and Ausland. Ausland is foreign markets, of course. Inland is domestic markets. Think of the airport, domestic flights. But in any case, I don't think you're going to have domestic and foreign on your exam. What else did the pandemic do? What happened to subscribers? What are some, give me some, maybe there are some numbers or hard facts here. Yes. Owing to, instead of saying due to, because we said it already, I'm going to say owing to the pandemic, the number of subscribers climbed to what, or by how many? We can just say by 1,100 because we say number of subscribers, right? What is a word to say on the other hand that I've given you in this course? Starts with B. The word B. Guys, this is like all you need to remember for but. Be that as it may. Be that as it may. Numbers of subscribers, or let's say the number. It hasn't been positive, right? Since the pandemic has been over. Doesn't it say that somewhere? What does it say, Daria? The number of subscribers has diminished since the end of the pandemic. Good word, diminished. Irina,
From digital by their watch.
sorry, I didn't catch all of it. I heard like you kind of mumbled there. Apple is viewed as a competitor, or why? You said Apple is viewed as, I wrote the word Apple is viewed. And what other thing? Was it just the Apple Watch or? No? Okay. Let's just say Apple is viewed as a competitor, not the greatest, because it's a little too thin, but we have other findings that are strong. And we can still mention that in the recommendations. Anything else? What about other revenue? Primarily consists of sales of Peloton branded apparel. The costs here. You guys are avoiding a lot of hard facts. Just death of a child and subscribers are going up, but there's a lot of hard facts here. We can say something about the price, right? Before I go to you, Irina, let's do something about the price. I don't know. This has been my experience all throughout Wirtschaftssprache 1. A lot of people want to avoid taking actual facts and figures from the task. You can and you should. So let's say this. Oops, this is not right. Peloton. Let's say the Peloton apparatus. We know what an apparatus is. Gerät is apparatus. Yeah, something like that. Apparat. Peloton apparatus includes a bike for, can someone, so I don't have to look back, can someone give me the cost of the bike? It's 1,875. 95 USD. What are the other costs? Thank you. Comma. You see how every time instead of saying which or that I just say comma making. If we look it up here, gamified and guided home workouts have become increasingly popular. Making. I don't say which makes or create a complicated sentence structure. I just put ing at the end of the word make. So making Peloton one of the most expensive options for home fitness. This is a great finding. Okay. You had your hand raised before, Irina, or did you want to say something else or? Okay, please go ahead.
Depends with popular web series. The popular web series versus.
Okay, if you wrote this on the final exam, there will be some agreements with popular web series. What do you mean by agreements? Okay, partnerships is a better word, but does anyone know what Irina is talking about? Because I still don't. I'm confused. So are these upcoming in the future? They're for sure? Yes, you're getting there. You're getting there. Partnerships, Beyonce. Vertrag, yeah, is contract. Yeah, she's out, but she's warm. She's on the right path. Can anyone help her out? Does anyone know what she's talking about? Celebrities? So partnerships. That was a good word that you worked on there. You came to the word partnerships after thinking about it for a second, instead of agreements. Partnerships and cooperation with celebrities is seen as a strong, or let's do this. You said it before, as a significant, whoops, advantage in the near future. All right, that's good for the findings. We don't want to overdo it. I just want you to realize you have to get more specific. I don't know why everyone just forgot the price. I think even in the source, it says that this is quite expensive. Why is this telling me it's wrong? It got.
How many findings should we write on that thing?
I would say it depends how detailed you make them. I would say 4 to 6 is usually a good bet. Actually, 4 to 8, because if you do a SWOT analysis, which you don't have to do, if you do it though, you need 2 points for each part of the SWOT analysis. So that's why I'm going to go over one now with you if you choose to do one. For some people, it's a little bit easier. So let's write optional, so nobody thinks you have to do this. Strengths. This is how you spell strengths, guys. Strengths. A lot of people make mistakes here. What are some strengths that Peloton has in this, according to these sources? What are some of the advantages? What are some things that are not bad? So an existing base that is large. An existing base of let's say this, a substantial base of existing subscribers, and Peloton. Sorry, I've been spelling it. Is it Peloton or Peloton? Peloton makes the market share strong. Okay, what's another strength? Peloton has a strong brand identity. Great. You don't have to go even any further than that. Brand identity is a good piece of vocabulary. Okay. Weakness, very first one should be a child has died as a result of improper and use of a machine, and let's say lacking safety requirements. Lack, we always want to remember the word lack. I find that students have an issue with lack or lacking. Lacking is mangel, or the absence of something. So good word to remember there. Instead of not have, say lack or lacking. What's another weakness? Stock has tumbled moderately by 10%. We've already got that. Now we have opportunities. We already have one opportunity. Where is it? Partnerships. Sorry, this should be R. Any other opportunities? Celine, you're awful quiet, but you're usually quite good. Can you give me something?
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm searching, but I can't.
Well, stock is not good. They're not though. I'm looking myself because actually I don't have one in mind for a second opportunity. Okay, let's do this. As a result of strong brand identity, Peloton can capitalize on branding or expanding its brand into apparel. Apparel is clothing. And other ventures. You can be a little vague here, other ventures. But if this is an opportunity you choose, you have to talk about a recommendation later. So in the recommendations, you could say it would be prudent to engage in cooperation or partnership with Nike or celebrity and create celebrity branded shoes or something like that. Weaknesses, I would say, to be honest, I would advise against doing a SWOT analysis. As you saw, findings is a little bit easier, but some people are really interested in this, so I'm just doing this in case. What's a weakness? Yeah, fierce competition in foreign markets. Okay, what else? Oh, I'm sorry, threats. I meant threats. I know, I'm sorry. Hold on, where's my bad. Comma, meaning Apple could corner the market in foreign countries. What else? Let's use this instead of making more common. Cheaper fitness options could overtake Peloton's market shares. Phew, okay, done with the findings. A little long, just wanted to give you both options. Again, I recommend doing the first way on the test, not the SWOT analysis. Some teachers are in love with the SWOT analysis, but as I said, I think I mentioned in an email, SWOT analyses are being taken over by Pestle and other analyses. Okay, so how do I conclude?
In light of the above findings.
That's right. All you have to remember is in light of the above findings, comma. Very good. See, you're plugging in the information with product safety. Let's say brand image because of the death of this child. What else? Fierce competition in domestic and foreign markets. What else? Look at the findings. What else we got there? Dwindling stock prices. What else is in the findings? Guys, all you have to do is, oh, or maybe you didn't write it down. My bad. Let's scroll up then. Diminished demand following COVID. Product and subscription, or we can even say subs, that are viewed as expensive. And the last thing. Anything else? And a lack of current celebrity partnerships. You see what I did? I basically just mentioned the findings all over again, but in a quick list. Peloton must take action in ameliorating these issues or face further backlash and decline, something like that. Okay, that's your conclusion section, yeah? Not super important, but it just gets you more words. Yeah. I mean, you could say something like, you could sum it up in 2 sentences. That's what I said. This is still 2 sentences, but I've just mentioned everything. It depends. It really depends. You don't have to mention it all, but like I said, more words. Okay, so how do I begin the conclusion, the recommendations section? Yes. Okay, if you start it this way, which I recommend, please be aware that when you have bullet points, you need to have a verb. You can't just say it would be prudent to and then start saying due to the fact, because it doesn't agree grammatically.
Or you could say, prudent to do the following.
Not do actions. This. To take. I know that doesn't make sense because an action is something you do, but in English you take action. Okay, so what should we do first? I would say this. Express regret. Peloton should hold a press conference and clarify and apologize, or say, let's just say apologize for the recent death involving a child. It should reassure, or we can just say, let's say, assure the public. See, I'm using vocabulary from the class. What does assure mean again? In what, inwiefern? No, it's actually passive. That's why I asked. It's like fish. That's right. Assure is just like promising something. It's like versprechen, yeah? Should assure the general public that it has taken many, I say many instead of a lot of, safety measures to ensure this will never happen again. Okay, what else? In the recommendations is fixing the things in your conclusion, fixing the things in your findings. Okay, so we got rid of product safety and brand image. What about fierce competition in domestic and foreign markets? What can we do there? Awesome. That's a great thing. Offer and communicate a clear value proposition. Now, beautiful language there, Anita, but how are we going to do this? You need at least one sentence that explains how we can do this. Man, that's tough. Yeah, it is tough. So what is value proposition? That is monetary savings, functional utility, solves a problem. Why is it better than, I got a good idea. Apple Watch is a competitor, right? Value proposition is maybe it's a little cheaper than the whole Peloton Geräte and everything like that, but it's just something small and alone, but Peloton is more like a community, right? You can go on the visual and you can do workouts in groups. You can communicate with, I think, a trainer at a regular time, or you can communicate with other people around the world. Yes? In what, again, inwiefern? To what extent?
As personal trainer, a virtual personal trainer.
Okay, let's take what I just said and what you just said and use it as this. Peloton should place, or I don't want to say place, yes, should focus on emphasizing emphasizing the community aspect of Peloton, and additionally implement AI and stress the use of virtual trainers. And so the use of virtual trainers, let's just say, okay? Because if you say, Peloton should implement AI. Okay, cool, but how? That's a vague answer. Apple Watch keeps track of everything, but I don't think it has, at least for the purposes of this exam, doesn't have a virtual trainer that motivates you or talks to you or anything like that. Okay, dwindling stock prices, diminished demand following COVID. Expensive. What could we do there? Okay, it would be prudent to reduce the price of current products and perhaps provide current members with deals or bonuses for their customer loyalty. This could come in the form of a reduced monthly membership based on how long they have been with the company, or providing free goodies and giveaways. Whoops. You don't even have to be specific and say what kind of things you're going to offer. A good word instead of goodies or giveaways, I just realized instead of goodies would be perks. Perk is Vorteil when you're loyal to a company. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not going to mark you down for incorrect comma placement or something like that. Okay, the last thing we have then is what? How to exploit celebrity. So let's say exploit partnerships with celebrities. What is this about Beyonce? Can you tell me? Because to be honest, I didn't read through the entire thing. Okay, exploit partnerships with celebrities. Current classes with celebrities should focus on the partnership Peloton has with them. Peloton should engage it's even hard for me. I'm not like I'm not a berater here. I don't know, like, how could we do this? Peloton should emphasize or should hire spokespeople. And these spokes, I need like time to think about this. Can't do it off the cuff. All right, exploit partnerships with celebrities. Current classes with celebrities should focus on the partnership Peloton has with them. Peloton should hire spokespeople that bring more brand awareness. That's a good piece of vocabulary to utilize, brand awareness. Okay, looking pretty good. As I said, your test is going to focus on Twitter and problems with Twitter. You're going to have a lot of PR issues, so public relations issues. Okay, so here's what I can tell you for public relations issues. Last year was also a personal relations issues, and I gave my students this advice here. Express regret. Okay, offer restitution. So maybe you want to memorize these phrases if you can. Restitution means like give money. If you can, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what's on the test. Could be something that comes up. Offer restitution could be to customers or to partners. Means give refunds, give money back. Implement reform. It's another good thing to remember. And then these are the things that you're going to change in the future. And then focus on recovery. Focus on recovery can always mean a new advertising campaign. Okay, so new advertising campaign. What do you call campaign in German? Kampagne. Okay, I thought it was Aktion for some reason. Okay, so in both cases, then it's campaign in English. I can't really tell you more. I don't write the test, so I can't prepare you like content-wise as much as I would like to. I can only offer you some vocabulary that I know will be acceptable in all cases. And I've done that throughout the semester. There could be words that come up like empower or mitigate risk or facilitate change. There could be things like this. I've told you use phrases like be that as it may, alternatively, in view of the fact, in light of the fact, crucial, essential, vital. There's nothing more I can really do as someone who does not write the test myself. All I can tell you is what it's going to be on. Maybe you want to read about the problems Twitter has been having. It was pretty public. Since Elon Musk has taken over, there have been quite a few public relations problems. So maybe you want to read an article or two about it, and then think of some ways that, or even write, hey, ChatGPT, can you tell me some ways that X, Twitter, could regain or could fix its image in the public eye. Unfortunately, I don't have any off the top of my head for you either. Yeah? I'm sorry that I couldn't offer more there. Hold on, let me end this.